LuckyNoob and PrussianPrince. So, spawning in the top left-hand corner as the Red Terran, we have PrussianPrince. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh well. Red Terran is PrussianPrince, and in the bottom, so this goes away, and in the bottom left-hand corner as our Teal Protoss, we have LuckyNoob. And I don't know too much about what to expect from either of these players. LuckyNoob has just won a game to get into this round over a Zerg player. He tried to do a cannon rush that did not exactly work out, but then he went on to win. And PrussianPrince is a Diamond SC2 player, but he is apparently his 4th game of Brood War. So, maybe decent mechanics, but might not know builds too well. So, should be a little bit of an interesting D-ranks game. And we've got SCV heading out here, as well as a pretty fast SCV for probe for LuckyNoob. He is scouting on 8, it looks like, which is a little on the fast side. And he's unfortunately going to scout in the wrong direction. And it looks like PrussianPrince is going to be opting to get a wall, which is fine. It means we probably won't see FD. We'll probably be seeing some sort of Seeds expansion, but you never know for sure, especially at D ranks. Probe's like, oh, nope, no base here. Time to move on. Move on. Alright, Protoss is getting his gateway. Also, I believe LuckyNoob is playing off race. I believe he is a Zerg race main player. He's getting his gas. So far, it looks like a standard opening, and the barracks is in decent position, so he'll have a nice little wall. And we can see he is also getting his gas. So far the build looks about right. Both players off to a reasonably normal start. No craziness, no shenanigans, no proxy gates. And we can see the cybernetics core is on the way here. So yes, looking very standard for LuckyNoob. And we got another SCV coming down, possibly looking to make the depot. Nope, that is going to be the scout for PrussianPrince. And oh, are they going to meet and say hi? Oh, they're going to say hi to each other, but no kiss. Just hi. Just waving and passing. Alright, we've got our barracks done. So, will we see a factory? Will we see the wall be finished? What is next? We got Cybercore, we got a second gateway, so a bit of an aggressive opening here for LuckyNoob, especially since that is 17, it's like 10-17 gates, so it's going to be pretty aggressive with the Dragoons. We are getting the second supply depot. And he is gathering up some gas. This is throwing me off. I guess it tries to show the supplies over here, but they're blocked out by my overlay. I can't actually see what supply they're at. Probably need to disable that in MCA. Probe is under attack. He's going to pile on the wall like he wants to harass it, but I don't think he's made a zealot, so I don't think a goon can get up there, so I don't think it'll be a big deal. He's going to pull some SCVs. Just a little worried about shenanigans. A little overkill. Not necessary. I would like to see a factory get made here pretty soon, though. I'm sure he has got 200. No, he's got at least 100 gas. So he needs to get that factory down, or he's going to have major Dragoon problems here at the ramp pretty soon. He needs to get these Marines down onto that ramp. Don't let them walk up the ramp. Bring them down. Bring them down, man. Alright, he's going to get some... Oh, Dragoon's thinking about it. Dragoon's thinking about it. Dragoon's going for it. Alright, we got Marines engaging, but this Marine is not fighting, which is not good, because honestly, without the factory on the way, now the Marines need to stay up the ramp. Good, they will. Alright, and we're going to put down... Oh, we're going to put down 2 factories. Now you see, he's new to Brood War, so I have no idea if he just thinks it's standard play, or if this is intended to be very aggressive. Because I have no idea how things work in StarCraft 2. And we're getting a Citadel here, so possible DTs, or we're going to do some sort of really aggressive build. So now we're definitely moving outside the realm of standard. Terran is getting a CV in the base, and now we've got 3 goons walking up the ramp, and this might be a game ender right now because he is not reacting. He needs to pull the SCVs right now. He's trying to target down the goon, but a little bit of micro there from LuckyNoob, and now we've got the SCV pulled, so good quick reactions. Oh no, but the Marines are chasing way too hard on that Dragoon, and now we are going to get into this bit of fun where SCVs run everywhere. Alright, he needs to get his add-ons onto these factories. If he can't get a tank out, he's going to be in a really bad spot, especially as these Dragoons keep streaming up, although has LuckyNoob stopped his macro. Maybe a little bit. SCV's just kind of hanging out, trying to deal with these Dragoons that are everywhere. He's slowly weakening them, but they are doing quite a bit of damage, and now he's just making panic vultures, which is not 100% ideal in this situation. Gotta pull these guys back. Pull them back. You don't need to keep chasing the Dragoon. There we go. He's going to pull him back. Now he still needs to hang out at the top of the ramp. He's got 2 Marines out. Needs to start attacking this guy. There we go. Almost got him. If he would have drilled on it, it would have been pretty effective. But we do have a Vulture out right now, but still no add-on, no tank. And LuckyNoob is going to expand behind this pressure. And yes, he is going for DTs, which could be really problematic. As there is no eBay in sight and no expansion for Terran. Now that actually came out decently even on the supply counts. We've got 17 probes here against 19, so the economies are actually pretty even, but he's still got to keep dealing with these Dragoons. He's building a bunker, which will end the aggression, but it also is going to have him awkwardly confined on one base, but he is getting that machine shop, so he'll be getting some tanks out pretty soon, but he desperately needs to add the eBay, or he is just going to straight up die to DTs. And 1 Marine goes down. He needs to keep making Marines out for this bunker, and the Dragoons are trying to get up the ramp, and he needs to get the Marines in. He gets the Marines in, but he still needs to block that ramp off. Now he's going to have to deal with this. He's ungarrisoning the Marines, trying to deal with this. He has weakened both of the Dragoons a little bit. Can he trap them on the edge of the map? No, they are going to keep wandering away. Actually, pretty good SCVing right there. Gets the 1. Now there's just 1 left, and it is being slowly weakened. Yet another Dragoon on the way. 3rd gateway down as the expansion gets close to finishing. And another Dragoon just being free to walk into the base. He garrisons the bunker, but he needs to stop it from walking in. There we go. Finally, the SCVs are in the right position, and that will take care of that Dragoon. And that should be all she wrote for the Dragoon aggression. So now he needs to get his tank out and hopefully get something up in case there are DTs, which there should be given the presence of the archives, unless we're going to have Fast High Templar. I'm kind of doubting that. Either that or he's going to drop the DTs in if he does make them. Oh, I think those are 2 DTs. Please get an eBay, man. Please, 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 please. eBay, eBay, eBay. Or mines or something. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This is going to be a bad situation. This is going to be bad. If the DTs attack it, it'll be sort of good for him. Oh, they don't. Oh, they don't. Oh, no. Oh, no. And it's not, of course, not a tight wall, so it's not like he can even try and sit and repair the wall. I hope to God that's mines. He needs it to be mines to have any chance of living this. Otherwise, he's definitely just going to get shredded up by the DTs. SCV's hanging out behind here, but it's not going to matter. Alright, DTs are trying to figure it out. Oh, actually, wait, the DTs can't fit through. So if he gets SCVs over here fast enough, oh man, he's got to pull them fast. Oh god, it's not quick enough. It's not quick enough. Oh no, the DTs are in the base. This is probably a game ender. This is probably going to be a game ender. They're going to start hacking stuff up. Smartly going for the Vulture first in case there are mines coming. A tank is getting trapped. And now there are going to be DTs running everywhere. Panic eBay is just going to go for the SCVs, but there are going to be a lot of SCVs dying. He actually didn't follow up with more DTs though, so there is the slightest glimmer of hope, but the damage that's going to be taken right now is going to be absolutely massive. That eBay is going to take forever. Even if he were to get a turret up, he's going to lose almost every single SCV, and Protoss is just going to be in a hugely favorable economic position. Ah, more SCVs dying. He's trying to get the eBay up. 700. 700. Oh my gosh. It's getting close. Alright, he's got to make turrets. He's got to make turrets. He's got to spam turrets, but he's not spamming turrets. There's no way he's going to get a turret up now. He's got like 1 SCV. He's got like 1 SCV. He's not even making a turret. He knows it's over, I think. And there we go. GG. DT's fucking things up in PvT since 1997. Ouch, 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 ouch. So it really wasn't too bad. It's just, yeah, DTs are pretty good against 2-fact in all honesty. It's hard to get an eBay with 2-fact. It's sort of a counter. So a little bit of a rough situation right there. Alright, what does anybody know what the channel is? Sorry, Mangus, he did win. He did win. What's the tournament channel? I need to know what the tournament channel is. It's like small D's. I don't, SDSL. Okay, I found it. See if anybody else wants a game casted. It's whatever. Or not Mongoose. It's Mangu. Mangu? Am I saying it right? Mangu? Mongu? Alright, so now we'll have to see if anybody else wants a game casted. But right now there are obviously a lot of games going on. Oh, I lost my little internet thing. Boom. Alright, so it looks like Friend BG is next. It looks like. Yeah, definitely a few too many SCVs at the beginning of that, there's no doubt. Yeah, but I would have died to DTs anyway. I didn't know how to make the scanning thing. In fairness, though, he did 2-fact, which is sort of just die. I said wine. Mine. Alright, so I guess our next game is going to be LuckyNoob against somebody. But yeah, 2-fact, usually DTs, unless it's like 2-fact like pure vultures, then sometimes you can just mine the DTs, but usually a tank-heavy 2-fact is really susceptible to DTs. Alright, so LuckyNoob is looking for his opponent, who I don't think is here. I don't know where he is. And other than that, we'll be waiting for the next game. My fact was very late. I thought it was making, then I realized it wasn't. Never fun. That's a pretty decent record. Pyranthos. Oh, I did not want to do that. That was a mistake. Now it's going to be way off center. Shit. Oh well. We can fix it, sort of. A little off on the right side. That is maybe correct. That's close enough. Close enough to be acceptable. Rockv. Nice people. Ecuador. And Melanchthon. Whoa, perfect D record. But I guess it makes sense. If you get 100 points a win and 50 points a loss, and you played nothing but straight D ranks, I guess you would stay right there. FS 1v1. I'm Zerg. Well, for the moment, we are just waiting for the next available game. So I guess we can come over here and see what's going on.
He died.
Apparently
one
a
of them
pretty
died,
crazy...
but that's only one of them. He does
Problems
have
with
the Ling though.
lurkers.
He's gonna be able to take those out. One zealot's not gonna be enough.
How much of this can you guys
There we
see?
go. He
Let's
does
see.
even pick off another
Oh, you guys can
Zerg.
actually see it fairly well. Alright, that's cool. I'll tell you what, I'll commentate on top of this. We'll watch this. We'll watch the stream. All right. So I guess we have Unlucky Pro. I forget who that is, but I recognize the name. Playing against our blue Zerg known as Superman, who obviously, as we saw, has a contain at the front, and beyond that, I don't know. Or sorry, blue Protoss, white Zerg. So 4-base Protoss, 3-base Zerg doesn't look very good for Protoss right now. And Zerg is sending a bunch of Hydra and Ling across the map. Now, I guess that depends. If that Protoss base is totally undefended, this game is suddenly going to be pretty even. But it looks like there are at least some cannons there, but that might be all he has for defense. And those cannons are going to fall. That looks like cracklings. I have to do this with no sound, so I'm not talking over somebody. Although Protoss is sending his army up, I don't know if Zerg can get this base. If he could have sniped the Nexus, it would have been good, but that is not going to be enough Hydralists. Those Zealots are going to clean that up. No micro in the world is going to save against that. He's trying. But Protoss is getting his whole army collected, and that base is going to survive. So Protoss is going to hold on to this nice 4-base to 3 advantage, and we're moving comfortably into the mid-late game. He's got okay composition, needs to get a few more Dragoons in that army, but High Templar Zealot is not bad against initial Hydras. Zerg is trying to take a base in the top left. Whether Protoss will find that, I don't know. It's a little bit hidden. It's more common to take the low ground hatchery first. Although, if you do have Hive Tech, you can take those top bases like that and then throw up a Nidus Canal and make life just absolutely miserable for Protoss. Alright, so where's Protoss going to go? What is his game plan? Zerg, haven't seen the tech yet. Alright, Zerg does have Hive Tech. He's got 2 Evo Chambers going. He's got Ultra Cavern, but he's making Hydra. There's a few Ultralists popping out. Do we have speed? Do we have speed? Can't see. Can't tell. Just trying to get a feel for where we're still at in this game. Alright, he's adding a few Dragoons into this composition. And Protoss is just sort of all over the map with little tiny groups of units. There's like 6 or 7 little small army groups just hanging out around the map. And we're getting a random Mutalisk. A random Mutalisk! Just one, though. Just one. I don't know why I said Ultralisk against the Toss lol. I mean, you know, Ultra's a decently common composition. It's reasonably effective in the right situations. I think it's a little nicer to play against in a lot of ways than playing against Lurkers. Lurkers are just, continual late game Lurkers are just annoying. Shreds everything. You have to be so careful all the time. Like Ultralist, if there's Ultralist armies, you just have to like be careful and not get flanked. But if it's, you know, you can A-move otherwise. But if it's Lurkers, like you always have to be moving carefully. You can't just like run a bunch of Zealots at a wall of Lurkers. And Protoss getting a pretty sizable army. I would like to see a few Archons in that composition, but as ultra heavy as he is, even Dragoons will do pretty well. Like Dragoons are pretty solid against just Ultralists. Now Ultraling, different story. Dragoons start to get pretty crappy, but if you have pure Ultra, then it's fantastic. Dragoons are fantastic. They do full damage. The Ultras just can't get in there and fight very well. Oh, are we going to make Archons, or are we just moving the Templars forward? No, it looks like Protoss is potentially getting ready to move out, although if he attacks like that, it's going to hurt. Protoss, what are you doing? Where's your army going? I don't know. Zerg is getting that 4th base up, sort of. Needs to get those drones, getting some drones mining, but needs to get some drones transferred over there. In general, the drone saturation is a little bit lacking for Mr. Unlucky Pro. And we've got some Lings running into the Zealots. 2-1 upgrades on the Zealots. Lings also at 2-1. So we are even upgraded. So that is not Zerg's favorite position. Also, I'm just going to keep checking on this. I can tab back to that game. Oh, is this a giant drop? Or is it a fake drop? It looks like it could be a real drop. He's going for the main base. He's going for the main base. Protoss is having nightmares. Although on the plus side, all of Protoss's army is sort of right there at the front. So we'll see what this does as he starts to drop. Will it be a good one? That's got to be the smallest drop in the history of the world. All right, there we go. Oh. Stream is experiencing lag. Stream is experiencing lag. Alright, so Protoss is trying to get his army back. And we're gonna have a lot of storms defend. I mean, he's got what? Is that a hatchery? Is that a hatchery? What is this nonsense? Although there's actually so many High Templar, this is gonna be a little bit awkward. Like he had 12 High Templar. If that would have been Archons, he'd just walk back there and kill the army. But with it being High Templar, it's gonna be a little bit interesting. And unfortunately, our stream here is experiencing a little bit of lag. Not the smoothest of connections. Hopefully it'll come back. Hopefully it'll come back. Looks like Protoss is having a hard time with this. Alright, getting some more storms on these ultras. They should start to pop fairly soon. Although he's just got the Templars, so he's having to storm on top of himself to try to get rid of these. Look at all these Templars just wandering around. How much army has Protoss lost? And then Zerg still has this hatchery building in the main. Alright, let's see. Well, we can't very well see when it pauses like that. There's still 2 ultras alive. Protoss! No, Protoss! Those probes are kind of blocking. Oh, this is bad. These ultra are still alive. They're still alive. Will the storm kill them off? No, the one is still fighting. And now Zerg is swarming up toward, wait, what? Oh, Protoss just killed that Zerg base in top left as we watched the ultras, or maybe while the stream lagged. And now Zerg is going to clean up whatever is left of that Protoss army in the top left. So Protoss really needs to clean this up. Oh, now the ultras is going to run around. Kill the probes! Kill the probes! Okay, we finally got rid of the ultra. Zerg is sending a shit ton of stuff to top left, so I assume that's going to clean it up. It's like going to be a bunch of cracklings. And I have not seen many Archons for Protoss, so that army will just die. Okay, and even sent some Lurkers. That's an actually nice little composition. That starts to get pretty scary. Start getting attacked by Zerg armies with mixed compositions like that, and you're like, oh man, oh man. Lurkers running in, flanks from all directions, can't run away, Lings trapping you. Nightmare Protoss days, nightmare Protoss days. That's all I got to say about that one. Alright, so Zerg collecting in the center. Gonna really need to get a base up, or he needs to shut down top right of Protoss, like, immediately. Or this game is gonna go out of control for him. What is our mining at? Protoss actually has a ton of probes, but most of them are not mining. If he gets them all those bases, he's gonna have a sick income. Whereas Zerg is starting to get pretty starved, down to just 2 bases, and the natural is probably somewhat close to mining out. And I've got a little bit of a conflict in the center, but Protoss is like, I think I'm going to leave that alone with that tiny group of army. I'm actually having trouble seeing and deciding if Protoss is using hotkeys or not. The way he moves his armies is a little weird. They may not be really grouped on control groups. He might just be box A moving them. He does have armies at each base, though, so he's just playing very defensive. And now Zerg is going to make a play to take the top left, trying to take both bases. Which, if he gets both bases, that would also put him relatively back into the game. So something Protoss will need to keep an eye on. I think Protoss is a little scared right now, actually, after that last drop. It's kind of sitting back. Alright, now Protoss is finally looking like he's going to move out with his army. And Zerg has a fairly large army in the center as well. I think it's got a lot of Lings in it. It's got a lot of Overlords, but it looks big on the minimap. We're going to have some conflict. Alright, Protoss is charging headlong into the Zerg. Usually not the best way for Protoss to engage, especially without High Templar. That is the one saving grace for Zerg's army right here. Because there's no High Templar, and Protoss sees this and is immediately retreating, as he does throw away about 5 or 6 units for free. But now Protoss is collecting his army. Suddenly there are some High Templar storms going on. Actually a decent dodge there from Zerg, running back a little bit. But I think there's just going to be too much Protoss right now Although Protoss is scared of this and is running away from this, backing up. I don't know if this is the best decision. He could definitely beat this army out in the open if he wanted to, but he is just going to make sure he doesn't lose that base. But he needs to be careful, because if he does allow Zerg to have those bases on in the top left, this game will go on for quite a bit longer. And will open up plenty of pathways for Zerg to win it. Like, if he goes and shuts those bases down right now, well, that storm was pretty bad. That basically hurt Protoss more than it hurt Zerg. That storm also hits nothing. So we got 2 whiffs right there. Not anticipating the way the Zerg units were going to move forward once they're stormed. And that Ultra is going to go down fast, taking some serious Dragoon fire. And now Protoss is going to aim to clear this out, but Zerg is going to need to get his units together, or else Protoss is going to move over to the left side here and take out that base. Zerg, where's the macro at? Actually, Zerg doesn't have very many resources. Protoss is hugely rich. Zerg has a ridiculous amount of gas. He can make Mass Scourge. And now Protoss, oh no. Protoss knows the base is up there now, and he is moving in with his army. Zerg really needs to beat this right now, or that is probably going to be it for the game. So Zerg units swarming in. It looks like Protoss is actually trying to focus the hatcheries. I don't like that decision that much. I think if Protoss kept reinforcing, he could beat this army, but he has focused down the Nat hatch. The Hydra will clean up the remaining Zealots, especially as a few more Zerglings and other things come up here to reinforce. So Zerg is still going to hold on to his top base. Going to have to remake that bottom base, but we can see Protoss looks like, it looks like Protoss is macroing okay out of both of his gateways. He's just having a little bit of difficulty here collecting his army together and getting organized for a proper attack. You know, one proper attack to top left would pretty much take care of Zerg. Keep a High Templar or 2 at home in case of a drop, but just get everything collected together. Get a few more Templar in there. Life would be nice. And Protoss is attempting to do that now, as we're going to have another battle in the center, although it's not exactly getting watched. Oh my gosh, that looks like it was some really good storms to make up for those whiffs. That is a lot of dead-looking Zerg, probably killing at least a control group. So now Protoss is going to push across the side of the map, and will Zerg have the reinforcements to stop it, or will this finally be Protoss's winning blow? Alright. Mongu, I don't know if you are still watching the stream, but I would say Lurkers at 7 minutes, that's pretty much playing 3-hatch Lurker. That's pretty fast. Like, you can do it, but it's not the most common way to play these days. And usually the way you do it is you put Lurkers at Protoss's front and then grab your normal expansions behind them and transition to something more normal. Someone's saying ZVP is hard. I would say PVZ is hard, but I guess that's a matter of opinion. And I guess at D, PVZ is ZVP is actually kind of hard. Storm's pretty ridiculous when you don't have the control in micro. And that looks like it's going to be about it for Zerg. Zerg is really starved. We'll be able to make a few more units, but that's going to be about it. Certainly is going to have a heck of a time retaking bases while Protoss continues to have crazy macro and keep sending these armies in. At some point here, it's just going to stall out for Zerg. Oh, that High Templar's dead. That High Templar is dead. So. What is Zerg's plan from here? Zerg has decided not to GG yet. Just waiting to see. Pyrantho says, before playing in tourney, I have only seen 2 Protosses ever. What? There's almost always Protoss. That's interesting. He's only ever seen 2 Protoss. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Protoss is trying to break up this last base, but it will not be successful. Well, with storms it can be, but not without the storms. Needs more storms. Too small of a group. A lot of Protoss army coming across the map. Huge storm. Zerg is just not dodging those storms at all now. One more good storm on those Hydra, and Protoss will just break right up here. Does he have another storm? He needs it. The High Templar is suiciding. Protoss's army, though, is coming in such a line. In such a line. He in the ramp, of course, is causing problems. Protoss is really getting ramp owned. He needs to walk his units up the ramp. He's not going to get up like this. He should easily be able to get up here. And oh my god, holy High Templar, Batman, Jesus Christ, why aren't there any Archons with that? What am I looking at? Oh, suddenly we decide outside the base, Archon morph. It'd be precious if Zerg came in with like two control groups of cracklings like right now as all the Archons are morphing and just like surrounded them. Zerg might still pick off these Archons though if Protoss doesn't reinforce this. There's enough. Well, okay, they're gonna hold on. He's getting some Archons out, but he still can't get up the ramp. Ramps are so immo. Look at this ramp. This is like the 50 supply of Protoss, probably at least 30 supply of Protoss that has died trying to get up this ramp as Zerg defends with like one control group. And he just hasn't been able to get the money storms. Has he finally gotten enough? Can Zerg keep reinforcing? Can he hold his third base? And Zerg finally says no, he can't. GG. I hate you, and our blue Protoss, known as Superman, will take the win in a wild and crazy game. Oh, Lurkers, no. Versus Terran, Lurkers is fine. You can open 3-hatch Lurker. In fact, in some ways at lower level, it's probably easier to do because the Muta Micro is a little more complicated. But pretty much you just get the Lurkers out, and you're going to go put them at Terran's front, take your third base behind them, and tech the Defilers. Because they'll only hold Terran off for a little bit until the tanks and vessels come out. Oh, if you're just getting Hydra, yeah, Hydra are not going to get it done. You need to go Muta or Lurker early on if you're not going to just like try to kill them with like mass slings at the beginning of the game in like the first 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Otherwise, you need to get either Muta Tech or Lurker Tech, and then eventually you'll need Defiler Tech in most cases. You could also try to fight him with like a constant Lurker Ling army, but if you have a bad engagement from there, it goes bad. Oh, yeah, Muta, you have to have the right timing, and you do have to control them decently. But they definitely work. Like I said, honestly, being new, I would recommend going Lurker. It's a little less micro. Like, the amount of attention mutas require to be used nicely is really heavy, and it's pretty hard to do anything else. Alright, so we're waiting to see what the situation is for games. Possibly going to cast Superman versus Rockv. I guess that's the last game, so I'll cast this one as well. Just waiting to hear. Game name Rockv, password 1. Observer land. Gotta get that Terran spot. Yeah, Terran spot. So you can have the best possible music. So we're going to have a PvT on Fighting Spirit on the only map in Brewdor. I hate myself for that. Like, I hate that Fighting Spirit's like the only map anybody plays, but I'm like super guilty of that because it's mostly the only map I play because it's the only map I feel really comfortable on. Never take the time to get comfortable on other maps. And then it always feels awkward, and there's like so much time spent thinking about the map that it's hard to like make everything else work smoothly. It's Happy Bunny time! Long time no see, sir. Long time no see. Like 2 years, long time no see. He joined another game. Sup, BBYS, the bees. But I know what he meant to say. It's all good. I won't hold it against you, man. I won't hold it against you. Don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should start, but maybe we shouldn't. I'm not sure what the right decision is in this case. How's it going? It's going well. Not too much crazy to report. Mostly just been working, getting ready to go back to school in the spring, and then riding bikes and running and doing the usual stuff I like to do. It's mostly what's new on my front. It's like the longest time where people sit here without actually discussing anything. I guess they're both just waiting to see if other people join, but nobody has, so you guys are welcome to start anytime you want. And then we'll see. Looks like we have someone else joining the game. He says, you guys should play. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alright, here we go. Here we go. We have a PVT on Fighting Spirit. Possibly huge lag. Uh-oh. No, no, no. Looks like we're okay. I think we're okay. Let's see. It's kind of laggy. It's kind of laggy. Although now it's suddenly not laggy. Whoa! Hyper SCV coming out of nowhere. Alternate. Mega lag. Don't know if I'm the cause or not. I, in theory, should not be, but I honestly have no idea. Either way, spawning in the top left-hand corner as our orange Protoss, we have Superman. And in the bottom right-hand corner as our red Terran, we have Rockv. Hopefully it'll be possible to cast this game, but there are no guarantees. I have no way of knowing. There is definitely some painful lag. It's actually telling me it's Superman. But I don't know. Sometimes it can be conflict. Are people saying it's a little better? I don't know. Alright, so we have a pylon. It's still somewhat laggy though. We have a pylon going up for Protoss, and Terran is nothing yet, but he's only at 8 supply, so that would be normal. And Rockv has not found him over there. Protoss sending out a very early pylon scout, so some possible shenanigans in mind for Protoss. And in the meantime, Terran, sitting at 8 SCVs, just waiting on that 9th 8 supply, should be getting a depot here at some point. Although, Given the fact that this SCV... Oh, never mind, he's got a depot over here. This SCV's out really, really early, too. So both players are scouting, like, super incredibly fast. And there comes Orange's probe, but of course there's no base there. So coming into the base of Orange, Rick V, we'll just call him Rick, is going to get a look at what is going on, but he barely even takes a look. He just sees the Nexus and then walks out of the base. So he's not going to get much information out of that. Of course, anytime you scout that early, you're really not... Okay! Obvious barracks is obvious. Assuming he walks down the ramp, he will of course spot the barracks, and it is of course going to get denied. Okay. So that was a weird idea. If you're going to proxy the racks, you got to like at least proxy the racks, you know, like try to find somewhere over here, go up there somewhere, you know, make it proxy. All right, we're getting gate and gas. Looks pretty standard for Superman. Terran is getting a gas at home, but of course he's got gas before barracks, so this is a pretty suboptimal build order. It's going to give him a lot of extra gas that he won't need unless he does some weird, wacky build that objectively probably wouldn't make sense. Say, going for hyperfast vessels or something weird. There's probably some way you could spend that gas this turn. Alright, we're going to get core. 7x core. 7x core and 14, so fairly standard stuff here from Protoss. And the probe is scouting. Oh, we're going to go double barracks. We're going to have a Bio Protoss here. Super fast EMP to deal with High Templar. Scout for DTs. That'd be hilarious. I would love it. I don't know what's going on the low ground. SCV is just chilling over there. Went to the other side of the map, I guess. So we're getting core. Got a probe down here like he wants to build something. But he is really, really working that probe right now. And a second gateway, as well as a finished core. Will he research range for Dragoons, or are we going to be seeing a fast DT type of play, which would be pretty annoying against Bio? Because you just have to rely on those scans, and the whole goal of Bio is to be aggressive in the early mid-game, so if the DTs are out super fast, it's difficult to do that because scans don't get you across the map very well. Terran is going to build a bunker here way on the low ground. Of course, that bunker is so far out in front, especially without the expansion, that it's really not a very effective bunker because the repair distance is so long that by the time 2 or 3 Dragoons show up and start banging on it, you'd have to grab the SCVs, drag them all the way over, click on the bunker, and you just wouldn't get very far. And it would probably be dead by the time you got down there. Unless you were really paying attention. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and get his Dragoon range. So far he's playing with a decently standard opening, except for this slightly weird low ground pylon. 2 gateways. And double bunker Bio. But of course he's not making Marines, so he's only going to have like 1 Marine in this bunker. And first Zealot is out. If he's smart, he will just walk on right by, especially with just 1 Marine garrisoned in that bunker. And he can just walk in and cause trouble. Rick V saying he's a nervous wreck, and he's about to be even more nervous, but I do know the feels. Remember the first time I played in some tournaments, I was very sweaty palmed and not able to focus very well. Protoss following up with a robotics, so very, it's either going to be Reaver toss, or it's going to be very, very safe toss. I guess he's not going to walk by. He could totally walk by those bunkers. Alright, now it's going to get a little harder as he's going to have 3 or 4 Marines in the bunkers, and 3 to 4 Marine walk-bys are not nearly as effective as walking by with 1 Marine, 2 Marines, where you literally can just almost ignore them. But if he gets range and he knows how to do the whole goon thing, we're going to get into some repair wars, because I don't think there's an academy yet for Terran. It is actually starting right now. But his range is still a ways away, so there's going to be a nice window here where the Dragoons can bang away on those bunkers uninhibited. Although we can see Dragoon range is not quite finished yet. That's probably why he's just chilling with the Dragoons at the front. Looks like he's about ready to expand now, feeling comfortable off of his 2 gates. Pretty typical. Most normals to expand after 4 Dragoons, but he has gone ahead and made a few extra playing aggressively, deciding to move Marines from one bunker to the other. I guess, got to give him some exercise. They're important guys. Oh, and this needs to be pulled back. Oh no. Okay, okay. Alright, we got range? We got range. Looks like we got range. Yeah, so now he's going to get into this annoying situation. This is what I talked about. By the time you react and try to pull SCVs, it's too late. So the one bunker is going to go down in a hurry. And now he's going to reposition for the second bunker, and if he doesn't, he's got to get the positioning right, though. Oh, this is suicidal. Just back this goon up. Walk it back. Walk it back. Alright, he's trying to defend. Just position those goons. Get him in there. Get him in there. Just let your Dragoons kill him. They'll massacre him. 4 Dragoons will massacre 8 Marines out in the open like this, especially. And it's going to be ages till he gets his range. And of course the lag is not helping. He's actually sending in the Zealot. Going for the bunker, I don't know if that's the best. Just hold position the goons and let them kill the Marines. He's actually taking decent damage on the Dragoons, but with 5 Dragoons, if he just hold positions them here, he's going to bust through. I think he's a little non-committal about it. Just needs to let them hold position. Alright, so now he's got the bunker down. Now he's just got a micro back. No, this is... whoa. He had it. Now he's got to back up. But we're going to have some still long-term pressure situations, but some of these Dragoons are very low in health, and the micro here is basically not happening. He is just fighting straight up, which is not the advantage of Dragoons. The Marines will hold them off pretty comfortably fighting that way, and in the midst of the micro, the idea of the Nexus is forgotten for the moment. But if we look, they actually are spending their money pretty well here. Always got to watch this Dragoon that's going on the outside. It's going to die to these Marines. And down goes the Dragoon, and we've got 2 Dragoons coming. He's about to get surrounded from both sides. Oh. This is getting a little interesting. These Dragoons need to come over and help their friends. At this base, he's actually going to start a bunker again. Is he going to start another bunker? I hope he's getting range. Please tell me it's done. And he's going... Well, we can't see what he's going for. Usually you get stim first, but... In this case, I think it would be better for him just to get range and stabilize, because there are going to be endless Protoss Dragoons coming across the map, which are going to cause him major heartache. He's got an OBS out. Not too much value to this OBS right now. Does get that Nexus started, and having a little bit of difficulty there, but now getting the Dragoons to shoot, and Terra needs to run. Terra just needs to hang out at the top of the ramp, probably. Still would have problems with the range, though. Goons can walk up the ramp, get the view, hold position outside the range, can still be really annoying, but he does need to hold his ramp. He really shouldn't let the Dragoons just walk all the way up the ramp. High ground advantage will make them fight a lot better. He says fucking lag. It is really laggy right now, which is not helpful. He's going to target the machine shop. We got a medic out. Alright, now he can begin to push this back pretty comfortably. And he does have stim. So now we'll see how quickly he goes to U-238. But with the stim, he's going to have no problem holding this off. He's going to stabilize now at the top of his ramp. The only problem he has is that Protoss is going for a second base right now. That Dragoon goes down as well. Oh, gather him up, gather him up, gather him up. Don't let him run so far ahead. Alright, so we're getting 2 factories. Gonna transition into 1 base mech. I don't particularly love that transition. But there may be a window here where he can put on some pressure if he senses that and opts to do so. Because there isn't any other higher tech here for Protoss right now, just the 3 gateways. And a hidden base coming up. SCV's dancing like crazy. That Dragoon looks so glitched. It looks like it's like floating weirdly on top of the thing. I mean, I'm sure it's on the low ground there, but it just looks like it's some weird floating bizarre thing. No U-238, so he's not going to have ranged Marines. It's still going to make these Dragoons obnoxiously more effective than they need to be. I think Protoss, given the control we've seen, and possibly also the slightly laggy conditions, will have a hard time getting the big value out of those Dragoons, but they could still be annoying. And this is here, but the opposite has a spot. But we're going to have another engagement. Marines stimming, going for these scans in case there's DT, but there are no DTs. So nothing to worry about there. And he's going to chase these Dragoons away a little bit, but doing a nice job there, keeping his Marines hanging out with his medics. And he is going to go for a Ninja Command Center. Not comfortable enough, I guess, to take it at his low ground. Just wants to hide it, which is a risky task against the Protoss with OBS. One thing I like is Protoss macros seem pretty steady and consistent this whole game. We've seen a pretty reasonable flow of Dragoons coming out of the gateways. And until those tanks get out, which they need to get out here soon, the threat of Protoss mass definitely is still looming large. I mean, that's only 5 or 6 Marines. You get up to, what is it, I think 5 Dragoons you need, and you can start targeting the Marines down one by one, and if he just quickly targets those down and then walks in, it'll give Terran huge problems. Out scouting like mad, it's a shame he hasn't found this base. Protoss looks like he's gearing up to take a 3rd base. And Marine stimming and running out here. I don't know if this is such a good decision. He loses 1. He's going to lose not 2. Marine, or Zealot runs in there. Zealot's going to go down really fast, but he does take down another Marine. And now their goons are target firing. This is a large amount of Protoss. It's going to cut through these Marines, no problem. He really needs that tank to get out, or he's going to get his front busted. He does have 1 tank sieged up. He needs to siege up another tank. He needs to pull SCVs, though. The Dragoons can completely walk on top of those tanks and take care of them, no problem. Dragoons running in here right now. Will he micro on top of the tanks? No! Superman is not doing it, so he has a chance to hold. But, oh, it's going to be close. There are reinforcements coming. He does get the tanks down nonetheless. He could have done that for a lot lower Dragoon cost, but he may still have enough to bust through. Next tank seems to be a ways away. He's only got 2 Marines at a time coming out from these barracks. And of course, he has lost his medics. It's going to become a really, really difficult position to hold for him right now as Protoss is moving up the ramp. And with continued reinforcements, this situation is going to get very ugly very quickly. He needs to pull all his SCVs right now. He can possibly hold. It's going to be a difficult game from here, but he needs to grab everything. He's not willing to even get this 1 Dragoon down. No, it's going to live with 3 health. Factory is getting banged away on. He needs to pull those SCVs, needs to drill. Alright, the 1 tank is out. He's going to siege it up, which is risky because the Dragoons could just go walk on top of him. He gets 2 Marines out. He may actually hold the ramp since Protoss isn't microing this. Looks like those 2 siege tanks are going to save him for the time being. He's getting the base up and running over here. Obviously, he has a hidden base, can't really afford to transfer. And now, making and sending a few Zealots across the map, which with leg speed is going to be annoying. And going up to a 4th gateway now, still hasn't put down that 3rd Nexus. Although admittedly doesn't have the money. Off just 25 probes, we can see the saturation. There's actually not even 1 probe per patch in the main. The natural is a little bit better saturated. Look at that ops coverage, though. Tremendous ops coverage. He knows exactly what's going on at, like, all points. Alright, we have a missile turret up. And now we've got 3 tanks, Marine and Medic. And down. Oh, no need to siege, especially with. Oh, yeah, this is gonna hurt. Now we got speed lots. Scary, scary speed lots. But there are also stim medics with huge lag. It says Superman for me. So I don't know what to say about that. These Zealots are having a hell of a time getting to the tanks. Tanks hurting the Marines a little bit. He's really unsieged now. Unsieged is going to be better in this position. The Dragoons coming up the ramp are not going to be effective, and I think he's recognizing that and starting to pull them back. Yeah, realizing I shouldn't go up there right now. Terran adding onto this base. This is a really bizarre game. Protoss has had a lot of opportunities to win. A little better micro, and Protoss definitely could have had it. Probe's still hanging out. Alright, he's got 400 minerals. Was he waiting to make a nexus? Maybe not. Maybe so. Probe's moving around. Probe's thinking about it. Considering the idea. Toying around with it. He got 400. Alright, he's going to put down a 3rd base. Of course, Terran is getting onto 2 bases. And getting a repair on this tank, unsieging, and getting ready to move down the ramp. So here we go, but Protoss has macroed up another 4 or 5 Dragoons, a couple more Zealots, and out he comes. It'd be awesome if he scanned and got rid of that obs. Having all this wonderful vision. Needs to bring the rest of these tanks down, though, and stim these Marines. Okay, I guess we can siege, whatever. Just gonna get 1 tank, maybe. Dragoons are running, they're in full retreat mode. I mean, pure Marine Medic trades pretty good against just Protoss Gateway until there's tech involved. Speaking of tech, we do have options for tech now. Has Terran added any production facilities yet? No, not really. And of course, yeah, I don't think he ever actually got range. Adding a turret here. So this game might actually turn into a long, extended battle if he ends up taking this low ground command center. Oh, down goes the observer, and Terran is going to push out here, although Protoss has a very large army. Oh, Terran's got to run. Terran's got to run. I actually like that decision to siege one tank. That was better. That was actually pretty good sieging right there. And he's going to keep Protoss comfortably off of his front door. Marines running forward. We'll go ahead and take care of that Dragoon. But Protoss' army is growing, and this is the ominous part for Terran right now. His army is very susceptible to storms. One or two good storms on the Marines that are near the tanks, and everything will just die. And of course we can see now Protoss, with that third base coming up, is starting to establish a pretty significant supply advantage. Terran's money's probably going to start to get away from him a little bit here. He does have 4 production facilities, but he's starting to get a more stable 2-base income. He's adding a starport. I'm not exactly sure what the starport will be for at this point. He doesn't have like any upgrades that are dependent on it. And Protoss, what is he making in the Stargate? Okay, so he's probably making an Arbiter, as he does have the Tribunal. I was like, please tell me it's not going to be scouts. Please tell me. Alright, Terran is thinking of moving out again. And he actually has a pretty decent tank count now. I'd like to see a few more Marines in this. I like seeing this kind of army, and here we go. We're going to have an engagement. Doesn't necessarily need to siege up that much. He can pretty much just roll over this with his Marine. Oh. The tanks are going to kill his Marine medics. He's got to be careful. Just unsiege. Honestly, if he unsieges and macroed hard, again, he could come across the map and just attack that. But, you know, those extra Marines, the DPS from those Marines does really well, especially once those zealots are cleared out. And these guys are the guys looming ominously in the distance. Now, will Terran expand to this base? He really ought to. Very much needs the income. Protoss like, I'm thinking about on second thought, I'll just wait to get an Arbiter, which does take a notoriously long time to make. Wait, I think I heard it. I think I heard an Arbiter. Yeah, we got an Arbiter. But guess what Terran has? Terran's got turrets, so he's okay for right now, as long as he doesn't stray too far from those turrets. Oh, Protoss is charging in here. Thinking about it anyway. Then decides, nope, that's a lot of siege tanks. Siege tanks are scary. Got almost a full control group. He says, huff a sec. I guess we're gonna have a PP. Means no longer can I click on the map. I have to do it manually. Are we back at it? Alright, we're back at it. We're back at our battles. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set the next network for extra high latency. And he is slowly siege pushing his way out of his natural. Of course, to get to another base will take a long time. Oh, Zealot thinks about running in there and decides maybe not. Maybe not. I'm actually enjoying watching this Marine medic Terran play. It's pretty cute until the first storm hits it. Oh, base is about to be awkwardly discovered. Oh, is Protoss going for it? No, he just wants the turret. There's another turret back here, so it won't really gain him anything with his Arbiter. Gives up a few units to go for the turret. We got a High Templar coming. Oh! Protoss is still fine, but he needs to be a little bit careful of this increasing Terran mass. Oh, we're gonna have a recall now. That's the same server. But he's actually, oh, never mind. He's actually still got pretty decent macro. So far, the Arbiters have not been used yet in any capacity other than for cloaking purposes. Gateways, we have 3, 4, 5, 6 gateways for our Protoss player. You can see the money now finally starting to get out of control a little bit for both players, as he's finally established a 2-base economy and 2 racks, 2 factories, just not enough to support 2 base. And then definitely once that 3rd base gets going, there just will not be enough economy. So he's got some position here on the center of the map. Probably not as ideal as it could be. He'd be better served if he was either attacking or perhaps a little more defensive back at home. Just sitting out here on the map leaves him a long ways away if there's a recall. It opens up doors to Terran or Protoss just almost running down this side, running Zealots in over here. And there we have a big old recall. This is what I was talking about. So now he's going to have one of the worst nightmares ever. He's got to move everything back to fight this recall. I hope he has scans. He does have scans, but this recall is already doing a lot of damage. It's already killed both of his factories. He's going to lose most of his production. And I have a sneaky feeling this recall might be game-ending. He's got to be really careful with where he sieges. If he blocks himself up the ramp, it's going to be incredibly frustrating. Alright, some few Zealots are coming back. The recall may not be controlled well enough to be game-ending, but it is going to take out a lot of his buildings. He's getting the turrets. The invisible units are going to be annoying, but there's a lot of tanks. There's that to say. You know, if he's got scans, he can pretty much just tank A-move this. He doesn't even really have to siege. In fact, in some ways, I think the sieging is probably the wrong call. In the meantime, though, Protoss is going to smash right down the front door, and I love this decision, because he can go harass this base down here and cause huge problems. Well, there's also the recall in the main. I hope he doesn't try to run up here to right where Terran is the strongest. That is not the best use. Can those Zealots get on the tank? Probably a few too many for that. We'll get rid of one tank. The recall is down here. He has killed all the depots, though, so Terran is stuck on very low supply. And he's probably reaching the limits of his ability to defend. I mean, he still has 2 barracks, but he's lost his tank production. He's not remaking anything else up here. He's not making more depots right now, which is going to be really problematic. He's trying to remake that command center in the main. Protoss is going to try to target down the starport. It's going to be close, but I think Terran can... No, it's going to die. Oh, that was smart. It's not going to die. I lied to you guys. That was some very... It still might die. It's going to die. I shouldn't have wavered. Shouldn't have waffled in my confidence. So Protoss now has a almost heading towards triple supply lead. How many tanks are left? There's still a lot of tanks. That, because of the way they're fighting these battles, that tank count might need to be whittled down one more time before Terran actually crumbles. But it's looking really bad for Terran right now. I mean, he's going to have supply block for ages. He didn't realize he was getting supply block during that, so he's only just now starting to build a few more turrets. He's lost a lot of SCVs. Observer dying over there. But Just building more turrets, I guess, to try to deter the Arbiters. Terran's aware of this, so this mining now is also going to be done for Terran. And it looks like the end is coming up here for our Terran player. There's no way he's going to be able to defend this. Obviously, there's a hidden Expo. You know, it doesn't have a choke grip, death map control, or whatever on this side here, so Protoss is free to go take out this expansion, and Terran cannot really afford to move too much onto the low ground with all of his tanks, as Protoss will just attack that army, and with Storms and Arbiters and things like that, have no problem killing off that army. So down goes the command center. One more shot. Alright, and it looks like we're going to have a last gasp push attempt here from Terran, but he'd basically have to kill everything Protoss has, and there's a recall coming in. This will actually make for an interesting base trade situation. It'll be interesting to see how Terran reacts as this recall comes in. Lots of units streaming up for Terran. Really needs to collect them before he actually engages. Alright, he's going to know that there's a Protoss army moving across the map now. Well, maybe not. Okay, yeah, he's going to know. He's going to know because his turret's going to die. And we are attacking here up front. The medic wisely soaking up a little bit of damage for his tanks. Will he trigger the recall, or will he come back and defend? What is going to be the choice here for the Protoss? Actually, it looks like with the Arbiter there and the lack of detection, the Zealots are already on top of the tanks. They are being completely massacred, and Rick realizes it and says, GG. Protoss overwhelming. Takes that game, no problem. Said he didn't think of the Arbiter. That might be true, but that's not really why he lost. It contributed. The recall definitely hurt and did its fair share of damage, but oh, we're gonna have another recall into the main. Just continuing to kill the base off. And will Rick V be leading? Yes. Oh, so it was conflict between those two. They just had lag with each other, huh?